Hello and welcome back to Ultimate Marble Racing Season 4. We're here with race 25 on Marble Mania. This is one of my own creations and a new track to this series. So before we jump to the track, the current standings. Pesky Bird is currently leading, still holding strong. We'll see if that continues as we are approaching the end of the season. Stormy is in second, closely followed by Superboss. Then we have Were in fourth. We have Fludes and Moo tied in fifth. Demon in seventh. Cheese and Alfonso tied for eighth. Iceman 10th. Then below that we have Sage, Weep, Shady, Azure, Luna, Eggbot, and Jimmy. So we are approaching the end. We have a few streams this week, and the decision was made that the final two races were going to be two separate streams. So we'll have Marble GP Malaysia, which is quite a long track, so it'll be quite a long race of a stream of its own, so that we can then have Red Rings as the final one on the Friday. Should be next week. So to end off the week, it will be the final race of in a stream of its own. So all that to look forward to. But for now, let's head over to the first track of the day. And hello, Cheese. I saw Boy saying "we back, baby" at the start. So this is Marble Mania. I've taken some inspiration from Trackmania, which I'm sure people have heard of. Quite a popular racing game that's been around for a very long time. So I took a bit of inspiration from that. I played a little bit of Trackmania in my time. I played one of the old ones when I was younger, quite a lot. And I played a little bit of the new ones. So I thought, build a track with a little bit of inspiration taken from there. But before we have a look around the track, of course we'll get everyone spawned in. It's going to be 6 laps. Eggbot starting up at the front, and we'll get the predictions going. So start a prediction. There we go, 2 minutes from now to get those predictions for the DNFs. So it starts off with a bit of a hill. We go into a jump, we have to bounce off, and using Trackmania term, it's a bit like a plastic bounce. You want to try and bounce off the white block and try and get the top route. Goes over a hill, a bit of a jump. The other way is a bit slower, you'll have to filter in around here. We have some respawn points as well for if you fall off in certain areas. Then we go around the dirt section. Bit of an S-bend, you gotta be careful not to fly off the edge there and respawn. Then into a little bobsleigh section, icy half pipe. And then you've got to go straight over the middle of here. If you fall, you will be going slowly through the grass. You'll try and line up in the middle, jump as far as you can, try and avoid these obstacles. They will slow you down if you hit them. So you'll try and get as far as you can there. I just realised you missed Coffee Raceway. You should probably watch the stream to see if your fix actually worked. Yeah, you'll have to check it out. Then here there is a potential shortcut. If you can go over the wall, you can take a shortcut there. Otherwise, you're going to be going around. You can also fall. Again, be careful of the falls. Got another respawn point there. A wall ride. A few more obstacles into a split section. Some steps. And we have 2 different sections. You have to figure out which one is the quickest through there. Then uphill into a sweeping bend. Very high speed straight along here. Down this little step drop down section. Then a big jump which will fling you out towards this ice turn. So you'll do a little slide around there over these bumps. Past this tie wall, be careful not to hit it. And then around the sweeping bends, a few obstacles. You can fall here, and you can try and recover down into this pipe, which will send you back to the previous, the tyre section. And then down the straight into the finish. And I think that's just in time for the prediction countdown to finish. So, there we go. Let's get the race started. Get the countdown going. And they're off. A little bit quick with the camera there. And into the first jump, it looks like everyone is going to make it. Alfonso going a little bit slow. Stormy's going to go into the lead. Jimmy with a rough landing off that jump. There's a bit of a pile up there. Peskybird, Moon, Shady. Around the sweeping bends, Zer has fallen. We're hitting the reset. Luna's fallen as well. So you see they'll be respawning and re-entering the track. Jimmy going quite slow. Alfonso with a fall as well. So into the bobsleigh section. Stormy's going to be leading. Demon in second. Iceman third with Cheese just behind. Not quite finding a way past there. There's a rough hit off the corner there for Cheese. Going to be a bit of a slowdown. Sage, Eggbot, Superboss and Wheat will come through. Bit of a pile up going into the jump. Stormy has a good landing. Demon and Iceman not so much. Wheat almost making it all the way through, hitting the last obstacle. Boer collides with Wheat and then into the obstacle. Shady's going to hit Sage, give them a big boost. Haven't seen anyone fail that though. But Cheese managing to get the jump over the wall. So does Eggbot, actually getting forced over the wall there. So that's a big gain for Cheese. Going to be fighting with Demon for second and does make the overtake off the wall ride. Into the obstacles. It's a rough hit for Cheese, getting squeezed out. I see you use freeform tracks as barriers. Which barriers? So Cheese and Stormy on the right side by side. Demon on the left. It's going to be a race for that number 1 spot on lap 1. And Alfonso currently trailing behind after a bit of a rough start. Jimmy managing to make their way back up to 14th from a bit of a slow start. And this side, the left side, depending on which way you look at it, is definitely the quicker side. Demon coming out on top. Stormy in second, Cheese in third, coming around the sweeping bend. Looks like behind we have Boer with a big pack of racers just behind. We've got Peskybird, Sage, Shady. Oh, Superboss going to get hit hard into the wall there. It's got Shady, Move, Fluids, Weep, and Iceman. And through the high-speed section, so it's going up at the front. So they've all made it over the jumps. Oh, Demon's taken a fall, though. So does Cheese. Both of them not lined up. Cheese gets a quick reset. Stormy makes it to the corner, but not a lot of speed. Big chance for Boer, but slow landing. Taking it slow and steady. Safe approach, but dropping a few positions. See Cheese going for the retake. Succeeds this time. There's a reset there for Eggbot, so Cheese will be behind Azur. Going back up to the front. Stormy is leading. There's been a collision. Boer and Moo hitting the tyre wall. Going into the bend here around these obstacles on the wall. Also, Demon really took a hit from that, currently in 16th after leading the race. And Luna resetting again, really having trouble in that section. So it's not going too well for them, but Stormy is storming away, going on to lap 2. Getting the jump perfectly. Peskybird with a good launch as well. Will be gaining on Sage. And yes, Stormy taking a massive lead once again. Stormy doing what Stormy does. They're going for a win. They're going for a big win. It's a fall by Peskybird. I mean, Sage can break away, make some distance in second. Fluids is going to go up to third. Cheese in fourth, but Moo with a bit more speed will take that fourth position from Cheese. Then Boer and Azur just behind. Superboss with a lot of speed there is going to get blocked by Peskybird. Alfonso going in very aggressive there. Manages to stay on though, and Iceman will collide with them. Going round the bobsleigh section. Cheese is going to take a fall, and this is the slow route. You see the slow route in use. There we go, releasing out onto the straight. Pesky with a great jump there. And Wheat with an incredible line, lots of speed, managing to thread the needle past Boer as well. Loads of speed into the next corner. Will be just behind Azur and Moo, tuck in behind them. And Alfonso leaping across the shortcut. That's a lot of speed. That is a huge play by Alfonso, giving their teammate a little push as well. Oh, but it's too quick, and Azur's going to go flying off. So does Weep, and they're going to be hitting the checkpoint respawn, and will have to make their way back onto the track. Bit of a disaster there. It's almost a great tactical maneuver. And Fludes is now going to be side by side with Sage, although Sage on the quicker side of the track. Iceman's out. Iceman has gone off somewhere. Not 100% sure where that happened. It might have been on the wall ride here and has overshot all of these safety barriers and is out. So there are a few recovery points on this, but there is a chance that you can crash hard enough to miss them. And Iceman showing that it can be done. So you can see Fludes chasing down Sage. Moo, Boer and Alfonso very close together. Pesky Bird and Shady just behind. Heading up to the high-speed section. See if there's any more falls. Sage has fallen, which means Fludes is going to come through. At least he's not here to see it. I guess that is a positive. Would be quite tragic. Alfonso's fallen as well, making room for Moo to go through and take that third spot. But Pesky Bird and Boer are following closely behind. Superboss is now just in front of Sage. Cheese behind, and Alfonso, Shady, Jimmy, and Azur. The Demon with a lot of speed. They're trying to make back all the time lost from the start. Eggbot has fallen as well. I think Eggbot fell just as we turned around there in the background. Might have just caught that. But yeah, Eggbot has fallen and is out. So yep, F's in the chat. I forgot to say that when Iceman went off. But I know Boer was already on it. So that is 2 so far. Going on to lap 3, Stormy. Fastest lap still. And just still flying away with it. Although Fludes is trying to close the gap. See if they have what it takes. If they can do enough to close it on Stormy. Moo currently in 3rd. Peskybird and Boer, the 2 ultraviolets side by side here. Got to be careful not to get too competitive. They don't want to push each other off the track. Looks like Moo took a fall, which means Boer's going to move up. Although Peskybird with a better line, so Peskybird's actually going to move up into 3rd. Boer just behind in 4th. Superboss and Sage with really good exit speed here, going to the bobsleigh. Sage trying to find a way past, but the ultraviolets are not allowing it, making a wall of purple. Not letting Sage or Superboss through here. Going on the ultimate defensive, but Sage forcing Boer out of the way. Also makes room for Superboss. With that speed loss from Boer and the hit's big there, that could be costly for Boer. We're going to see what happens over the jump. Peskybird and Sage both with a good line. A wall of violet. Yes, correction. A wall of violet. A wall of ultraviolet. And Sage has made it past Peskybird. See how big that hit was for Boer. It was very costly. Dropping quite a few spots from it. It's now Superboss, Jimmy, Cheese, Moo, Boer, and Alfonso all grouped together fighting for position. Then we have Azur. You sacrifice yourself to save Pesky, keeping Peskybird up at the top of the standings. Though Peskybird losing time through this section. Shady and Sage are now in front. And Boer, Cheese, and Moo will be taking the quicker route. Though Moo doesn't make it on, Boer with a very tactical block. So Alfonso's going to snipe that position instead. And up at the front, see what's going on. Stormy still with quite a good lead. But Fludes is within reach. There is quite a bit of a gap, but it is doable. Then there's a big gap back to 3rd. In fact, one big fall on this high speed section could be very costly for those up in first and second. You can see the main group heading around now. A bit of a pile up on the corner. It's going to slow Jimmy down quite a bit. Just gone on fluids with the reset. This is what I was on about. This is where it costs a lot of time and just not lining that jump up. Not lining that up at all. Alfonso's fallen as well. Flu's going to try again. This time making sure to line the jump up a bit better. Alfonso made the same mistake. Was fallen as well. Quite a few falling this time around. So it can be quite a costly section. You have to be very consistent through this bit. High speed and precision. You got yeeted by someone. Well, these things will happen. Cheese is fighting off Jimmy here. Superboss and Pesky Bird just behind though. I'll tell you, after Jimmy's not so good start, making it up into fourth right now. Very good performance so far. Great recovery. Fluids dropping to 8th from that chaos. And then we have Alfonso Azur and Shady, the 3 green slushies together with Blur just behind. And Sage taking the fastest lap. So let's see what's going on up at the front, because Stormy is in danger. In fact, Sage has made it past a better line through the dirt section. Stormy no longer with a massive lead as Sage putting in such a strong lap. It was Moo. Oh, exposed. But Sage putting in such a strong lap, managing to close that gap and get past Stormy. And Stormy's having trouble now. Running a bit slow. It seems that Stormy either needs a big lead or they struggle. Great run there, probably now fighting back to try and regain that lead. Where they perform best, up at the front. Superboss currently in 3rd. Jimmy in 4th, Pesky Bird in 5th, Cheese in 6th. And currently 2 DNFs. And Fluids comes flying through. Moo tries to as well, but hits Cheese. Very aggressive dive into the corner, and Fluids is going to bounce off Pesky Bird there and get in front. We'll see what happens on the wall ride. And Fluids is going to be just in front of Pesky Bird. And the top 3 going the slower route round. This could be a bit of a gain by Fluids here. Could make some time, although getting stuck on the corner is not ideal. Moo's going to sneak in front. But should close the gap slightly on Superboss. Jimmy just not quite making it in time. Got Cheese and Pesky Bird on the opposite side. And Blur and Weep close together, battling it out. Demon just behind. Let's head over to the high speed section, see if there's a fall up at the front. Sage is making it through clean, a good jump, lining up perfectly. And a good run into the corner as well. Stormy also the good run, keeping it centered, and a great turn. Trying to gain on Sage. Superboss also keeping it down the middle. So the top 3 being sure not to fall off in this section. Keeping hold of their positions. It is a very high speed section, so you do have to be careful. And Jimmy's out. Jimmy has taken a fall and has DNF, so F in the chat for Jimmy. After a great recovery from a rough start, it all comes to an end on lap 4. Fluids takes a hit on the tyre wall. Pesky Bird is going to come through with more speed around the outside. Will get past, but Cheese and Moon not quite quick enough. Also an F for your prediction. And Demon, I think we just saw go off at the top of the screen there as well. So F in the chat for Demon. This high speed section seems costly for some. Going to be very consistent through there. So let's go see what's going on up at the front, as we have lost a couple of people further back. Stormy's dropped another position. Might have had a fall. Sage still leading, still with the fastest lap as well. But Superboss is closing the gap fast right now. It's going over the jump. Sage with good speed. Hitting the last obstacle. Superboss almost had the better line. It's not quite enough. We'll see what happens with Stormy. Little bump before going into the jump. Over the jump. And hitting one of the obstacles. If you can get the perfect line through here, it is quite a bit of time gained. She's just in front of Pesky Bird. Fluge with a good line, hugging the inside wall. Might be able to make it past Pesky Bird. It's not quite enough. A very aggressive impact there, trying to get in front. Bit of a risky play. But stays on the track. And will be just behind Cheese and Pesky Bird. And then we have Moo following. Pesky Bird taking a fall. Fluge taking a fall. Failing on the wall ride. Going to have to retake. They both go around and into the obstacles. See Sage taking the quicker line. I don't think they're going to be quick enough to catch up with Superboss just yet, but they will keep the gap close. And we have Cheese and Stormy on the opposite side next to each other. Further back, got Azur in 8th, Weep in 9th, Alfonso just behind in 10th, followed by Shady. Boer in 12th, Luna trailing behind in 13th. So we can see Superboss heading into the high speed section. Cheese with a lot of speed there is going to get blocked by Stormy. They're going to try and close the gap on Sage. See them picking up speed, approaching the jump. Down the steps. And up the jump. It looks like everyone's going to make it across. Cheese with a good line there. Keeping some good speed, but so does Stormy. And they are closing in on Sage. Stormy with way more exit speed will be right behind Sage. And actually, Sage moving slightly out of the way. Stormy's going to come through and overtake. Skimming the tyre wall. And Stormy is moving up into 2nd. Has the two Dodgeball teammates just behind. Got Pesky Bird coming through here in 5th. Fludes coming past the tyre wall. A hit on the tyre though. Needs Mook to try and close this gap. See Shady, Alfonso and Wheat heading down the steps. And Shady has fallen. It's going to be costly. Wheat with a good jump will make it past Alfonso. Boer is past Shady. If they can successfully make the jump, stick the landing, which they do, they are in front of Shady. So we head on to the final lap of the race. Cheese is now up into 2nd. Stormy in 3rd. Sage in 4th, still holding that fastest lap. And Sage has taken a fall. Cheese and Stormy battling it out in the bobsleigh. Pesky Bird gaining on Sage. You want to reach top 10, then you'll be happy. You'll have to gain on Weep. Flude's going into the bobsleigh section as well. See what the situation is further back then. So we're not far from the top 10. Weep isn't too far ahead, but Shady is also not far behind. So going to have to focus on consistency on this final lap. Going into the dirt section. And Weep having a bit of a hit on the wall is going to slow them down. Boer comes flying through, and Boer moving up into the top 10. Can they hold it down to the end? Fluids and Moo side by side. Fluids is going to be just in front, blocking Moo out there. Pesky Bird just in front of Sage. We have Superboss leading, Stormy in second, Cheese in third. So it's still very close, coming down towards the end of the race. And Boer dropping back out of the top 10 as Weep has a better jump and a better landing. And Weep being quite consistent on that jump. Boer's going to have to fight back for that position. You can see Superboss breaking away in the lead. Stormy with a big gap back to Cheese. And then another big gap back to Sage. They're starting to spread out up at the front now, trying to make a gap and secure their positions. And Boer's going to be going the longer way round. Weep's going to have the advantage through this section. And Moo and Fluid still battling it out. Neck and neck. And Fluid's going off, a bit too much aggression there. A bit too much speed. Goes off, is going to have to respawn. See Pesky Bird taking a fall in the distance. I think Superboss took a fall as well. So this is big for those battling it out up at the front. Pesky Bird taking another fall. And that's Pesky Bird out. Pesky Bird missing the recovery point and is out of the race. So close to the end, and it's race over for Pesky Bird. Big F in the chat. Alfonso off as well. And coming down to the final section, we lose 2 on the final lap. F's in the chat for the 2 of them. We're coming down to the finish line. Stormy is taking the win. Cheese in second. At least that means you're getting top 10. That is true. Sage taking third and still holding that fastest lap. We'll see if it stays that way. There's a battle going on actually between Boer and Weep. The positions switching around quite rapidly there. And Luna taking it quite slow and steady for the whole race. Is actually going to gain quite a few positions and points just from staying consistent. Superboss finishes 4th, Azurf 5th, Moose 6th. And of course every point matters, especially as we're approaching the end of the season. Fluids is going to take 7th. And it looks like Weep is going to be able to hold out for the win. Luna's gone off. Luna has DNF'd as well, so F in the chat for Luna. Going to have to settle with 13th. And there we go. Weep takes 8th. Boer takes 9th. Shady will be taking 10th. So speed it up a little bit here. As we watch Shady come across the line to take the final top 10 spot. And there we go. Let's head over and look at our winner. Go to the winning cam. Did I expect this many DNFs? No, I was probably expecting a couple, maybe a few, but not quite this many. But you know what? It's not too bad. We have a top 10 still finishing, so I'll take that. But congratulations, claps in the chat for Stormy on the win. It was an exciting race. Glad to hear it. Obviously, it's a bit of a tester. A little bit nervous when I create a new track and bring it into this. Obviously, I do a lot of testing and stuff when I'm building the tracks, as I imagine a lot of the people building tracks do. But it's always a bit like wondering how people will receive it. So glad it was an exciting race. But well done, Stormy. Great win. Not as big as we're used to in terms of wins for Stormy. Usually much more of a gap up at the front. But, you know, just under a second between Stormy and Cheese. but quite the gap back to Sage. There we go. Let's do the predictions. And I can already tell. Go choose outcome. Yeah, no one was guessing this one. So there we go. No one right on the predictions. And now I'm going to go enter the results over on the leaderboard, and I'll be back in just a minute with the updated standings. Alright, the results have been entered, so let's head over to the standings. I see Iceman is here, late to the party. I see nothing has changed in performance. Yes, it was a bit of a rough one. He took the first fall of what ended up being quite a few. And yes, an unfortunate 17th place finish. But Stormy with another win. That is Stormy's 5th win. Holding strong late into the series. Sage actually got the fastest lap on our last race. So that is 2 fastest laps in a row for Sage. Running quite quick at the moment then. Might be going after Alfonso's current fastest lap record. Yeah, great race by Stormy, closing the gap again on Pesky Bird. Still not enough, even with Pesky Bird finishing 11th with a DNF and Stormy taking the win. It's still not enough to overtake Pesky Bird and dethrone them from that #1 spot. So Pesky Bird is hanging on up at the top with 523 points. Sage carrying. Yeah, Sage is really putting in some work now. And in fact, even Cheese. I mean, Cheese, you're ahead of Sage at the moment. And even finished a place higher, but Sage just taking that fastest lap point. Just every little point you can possibly squeeze out. Stormy in second with 501. Superboss in third with 477. Were in fourth with 461. Moo in fifth with 448. Fludes in sixth with 446. Cheese in seventh with 434. Sage in eighth with 419. Demon in ninth with 412. And Alfonso in 10th with 409 to round out the top 10. Below that we have Iceman, Weep, Azur, Shady, Luna, Eggbot, and of course Jimmy. It's been a rough season for Jimmy. It's been a rough season. Eggbot's performance in that race has closed the gap at the bottom, so Jimmy may be able to find their way out of 17th place. We will see. Kind of surprising how similar we're doing. Yeah, very close. 434 and 419. Not much in it, so pretty good run for the Doge Bulls at the moment. We're still fourth after a mediocre race. Nice. Yep, just outside of that top 3. Just outside it, but it's in reach. It is very much in reach. But of course we have another race. So for those watching on YouTube, this is where the video ends. So if you want to see these live, watch both races back to back and stay a bit more up to date and join in with the amazing chat, then head over to the Twitch Space Egg Live and give it a follow and join the races live. And if you want to sign up and take part in any races, head over to the Discord as well. It'll be down in the description below. You can sign up over there and see what other events are going on. I do still have plans for other racing events. We have the Halloween one coming. The Halloween one's coming, and there'll be a Christmas one. So those track builders out there, if you want to submit any, you can submit them in the Discord. One will be picked for that event as the main race. And I also still plan to do a track building competition, which will have a prize as well. So that to look forward to as well. Another reason to follow and join the Discord. That is going to do it for those watching on YouTube. So thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next one.